Am I the asshole for getting my neighbor evicted over them smoking pot in the main hallway? I live in 2A and I have 3 kids, 16 Maliants and 3 Yo twins. I'm 29 female. Recently my neighbors from 2B have been smoking pot in the hallway, right outside our doors. I actually didn't mind or complain at first because I could just put something in front of my door to block the smoke from entering my apartment and they appeared to be really decent people. We never had any issues. However, last week I went to leave my apartment with my 3 young babies and they were sitting directly beside my door smoking. I don't have a back door unless I use the fire escape and cannot pull down those steps without physically going outside. Which I can't because I'm not leaving my 3 young babies upstairs unattended. When I saw them I asked them to go outside with it or into their apartment because I didn't want my kids inhaling it. They were like, yeah, sorry, no problem, and took it into their apartment so I thought the issue was cleared up. However, that night I was sitting out on the fire escape reading a book after my babies went to sleep and I heard the neighbors from 2B talking cause their window was open. They were saying things like, fuck that bitch. How funny would it be if we just like hotboxed the hallway? They were giggling, obviously high. I thought it was just talk because I've obviously smoked before and said I was gonna do some shit but never followed through. So I didn't pay much attention. 3 days ago I wake up to my apartment smelling like I had just smoked 3 blunts back to back at like 5 a.m. I hear them outside my door so I rip it open to find one of them laying on their stomach and blowing smoke directly under my door frame. He jumped up and ran. I call landlord and explain the issue. They had an eviction notice on their door this morning and started freaking out and asking each other why the fuck they were being evicted because they have paid all their bills. Am I the asshole for getting them evicted?
Not the asshole. You tried to handle it reasonably, they escalated. You didn't ask for eviction, that was the landlord's choice.
Not the asshole. You didn't get them evicted, they did. You reported it to the landlord. You didn't insist that they be evicted, you didn't make up stuff to get them evicted. You weren't the one with ultimate power to evict them. They decided, very consciously and with intent, to mess with you. They now get to reap the consequences of their behavior. That was harassment and that is generally against the code of conduct for most places. You have kids that you are responsible for and they put those kids into a potentially unhealthy atmosphere. They, and their welfare, is not your responsibility.
As a smoker myself, I appreciate you trying to be chill and talk about it first. I'm not sure if they're getting evicted because of the smoking itself or because of the fuckery they pulled, but either way, they clearly need to be more careful, considerate. I can't even imagine doing something that weird and then getting revenge level pissed when someone takes issue with it. You're not the asshole because their actions got them evicted, and I'm kind of happy they did because assholes like that make the rest of us look bad. Edit. Wow guys, thanks for the awards. I've never gotten one before. This is the proper etiquette, right?
Not the asshole. Holy shit, they were being fucking idiots. You did the right thing. There is literally no reason for someone to try and blow smoke under your door frame. I think the bigger question is why do you think you're in the wrong?
Wow WTF. Not the asshole. They were literally blowing smoke into your apartment on purpose. That crosses so many lines.
Not the asshole. They didn't want their apartment smelling like smoke, so they decided to smoke up the hallway. You would have been in the right to complain then. You waited until they essentially assaulted you and your children with smoke. Smoke what you want, but let babies have clean air.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Not the asshole. I'm an ex-smoker, cigarettes, and if any time a non-smoker asked me to move because of the smell, regardless if I thought I was in the right or not, I would move further away. It's courtesy. You choose not to smoke. They don't have the right to force their smoke on you, possibly affecting your health. As a smoker, a non-smoker's request always outweighs a smoker's, as smokers chose to poison their body, but non-smokers do not.
The first thing I did was scroll to the bottom of this page to see if anyone was saying anything other than not the asshole and couldn't find any. This isn't even a close case. Edit. Just FYI. It doesn't matter if pot is legal where you live, it's not legal to blow smoke inside someone else's home, even if they were burning pieces of paper. You could theoretically sue them and your landlord for an injunction to get them to stop. And your landlord probably knows this and probably doesn't want these assholes giving him more headaches. Full disclosure, I didn't even read the post. Not the asshole. So very not the asshole. All I need to know is from the title. I come from a very pot-friendly place and smoke it quite a bit myself, but it's just common courtesy to make sure nobody else can be exposed to it, especially little kids. What a holes. ETA okay. I went back and read the post. So not the a-hole. You should call the police. They were directly exposing you and your babies to a mind-altering substance against your will because they thought it was funny. I hope they get arrested.
Holy Christ. These people decided to be AHs, got caught and paid the price. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. I'm an avid pothead and I won't smoke on my porch outside if I know kids are out playing. Blowing smoke into someone's home where their kids are is just an asshole move. You reap what you sow, and they sowed some dick moves and are now reaping the consequences.
Not the asshole. You tried the nice way, they countered with assholery. You didn't mention whether weed is legal or not where you are. That's another layer to this conflict.
As the descendant of Og Hate Street hippies, not the asshole. Even stoners have an unspoken moral ethical code, and while hallways public space is fair game, if there's kids nearby it's just a no. Going under the door is a beyond douche move.
Not the asshole. That's so mean of them. What an asshole thing to do. You didn't get them evicted, their behavior got them evicted.
Not the asshole. They knew what they were doing and brought it on themselves.
Not the asshole. They were essentially poisoning your children. What if one of your kids had breathing issues? They're adults and they made a stupid decision and now they have to live with the consequences. They can sleep in a tent and smoke all they want. This is what happens when you act like a child.
Not the asshole. You didn't get them evicted. They got themselves evicted.
Not the asshole. Their behavior is absolutely unacceptable, plus you tried to address it in a civil way.
You are obviously not the asshole, which everyone here has said. However, I'm concerned about this. I don't have a back door unless I use the fire escape and cannot pull down those steps without physically going outside. Which I can't because I'm not leaving my 3 young babies upstairs unattended. If there was an actual fire and your front door was inaccessible, would you be able to escape with your children via the fire escape? If not, this also needs to be addressed.
Not the asshole. Holy shit. They were deliberately blowing smoke into your home. No, their own actions caused their eviction. Don't know where you live, but that could have also been illegal.
Not the asshole. This is an easy one.
Not the asshole. They deserve it. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks about drugs, nobody has a right to force it on others. Drugs have been shown to affect children's brains as they develop, and you've done the right thing to protect your kids.
Not the asshole. Fuck those guys. Take care of your babies.
Not the asshole at all. They escalated the situation after you politely asked them to stop. Public spaces aren't the place for smoking pot.
Can they get charged with trying to intoxicate minors? Feels like something should be done about them. Give stoners a bad name. I hate smoking around schools and kids. Just feels wrong and creepy.
If you took it a step farther and reported them to the police for intentionally poisoning your children, you still wouldn't be the asshole. Not the asshole. Your baby's health is more important than their high.
Their method of relaxation has turned hostile. Everyone talks shit. So I don't fault them for talking crap about, we are going to hotbox the hallway. But blowing smoke directly into your home deliberately, that's so very frightening. What's the next step? Gluing your door shut. Rolling a lit joint under your door. Carpet catches fire. You have to put your kids' health first. Absolutely not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You didn't get them evicted. Their stupid, childish stunt is what got them evicted.
Not the asshole. That's rude and disrespectful, and the landlord obviously thinks so too. Why anyone would ever do that just because someone has asked them not to smoke in the hallway is a complete dick move. They could have easily smoked inside their home, on their fire escape, and been no bother to anyone else. As Reddit likes to say, play stupid games, when an eviction notice stapled to your front door and 30 days to vacate the property.
Dude was blowing smoke into your apartment with 3 young children while we're still in a pandemic. Not the asshole at all. Don't hesitate to call the police if they retaliate in any way. I wouldn't put anything past people that shitty.
Not the asshole. And honestly, it is insanely messed up to actively blow smoke into someone's home, but especially a home with kids. If you tried anything else they would have escalated, and clearly they do not understand any line establishing basic decency. These are asshole who would have potentially hurt your children. Try to avoid them as much as possible until they are gone. If you can afford it, I would definitely get a doorknob camera of some sort.
Not the asshole. They crossed a line. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
You are not the butthole. You asked them to stop doing it. And they didn't, and they did it even more. You have 3 young kids. You don't want your apartment smelling like pot. So you did the right thing by going to the landlord. He tried to be nice and they wouldn't listen, so you have to do what you have to do. Hopefully they move soon. Or it will at least get them to stop smoking pot.
Not the asshole. I don't know what state you're in, but in some states tenant laws make it very hard to evict someone. I live in NYC, which has very strong tenant laws, and when we told our landlord about our neighbor who would assault our door in the middle of the night, it turned out that was just added to a pile of information they already had for an eviction hearing that was already planned. It just helped give them dates and times to look at the cameras and add up the items.
Not the asshole. These fucks aren't responsible and clearly have no respect for you or your children.
Not the asshole. I have 2 kids and my husband and I both have our medical cards. There is no excuse for what your neighbors did. We are very careful about what is allowed where because it does smell if smoked. They were being purposely inflammatory for no reason. They need to grow up.
Not the asshole. I say this as a pothead. WTF, blowing it directly under your door, just for asking nicely to smoke in their own apartment. Fuck these dudes.
I was honestly ready to call you the asshole just from reading the title, but turns out you're absolutely not the asshole here. Not only did you try to solve this in a very reasonable way, they decided to deliberately escalate the situation. If they didn't see repercussions coming after being this shitty, they should probably lay off the herb for a bit. Are you kidding? What total and utter dicks. Absolutely not the asshole. They know you have children. That's so incredibly dangerous. Good riddance.
Not the asshole. You tried to take it straight to them and they were assholes about it. I would have done the same thing, babies or no. The hallways are not a common area for smoking.
Not the asshole. Children should not be around drugs or drug addicts, even if they are in the hallway.
Definitely not the asshole. Smoking anything inside is disrespectful to the other people that live there, even if they also smoke. You handled it kindly by asking them not to do that in front of your door and they decided to be immature. You didn't get them evicted, they did. Not the asshole. They got themselves evicted. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Not the asshole. Deliberately smoking any substance inside a building is asshole behavior. This isn't the 70s anymore. Not the asshole. But they sure are. How absolutely juvenile to pull that stunt and then to not make the connection. Maybe they will have a few more smarts at their new apartment.
Not the asshole. I use weed in an illegal state to self-treat my PTSD, and because I enjoy being relaxed. I use a dry herb vape wrapped in dryer sheet between inhales, a smoke buddy, a catalytic lamp like 1 foot away from me, and osium to hide the scent. If the downstairs neighbors, who have a toddler, said, "Excuse me, but it really smells like weed down here. Do you think you could stop?" I would gladly go out for a quick walk or into my car out back real quick. I'd be mortified though, and I would tell them to always let me know if I was bothering them, and be so thankful that they didn't call the cops on me or tell the landlord. They didn't get evicted because they smoke weed. They got evicted because they were fucking harassing you and your kids. Fuck them.
Absolutely not the asshole. And I say this as someone who is a long-time everyday smoker. They were completely rude in what they did. Even smoking in the hallway is completely wrong. They deserve the consequences of their actions.
Not the asshole. You didn't get them evicted, their own actions got them evicted.
Not the asshole at all. I live in a state where it's legal and I have neighbors who smoke, but if I walk outside with or without my kids they either take it to the back of the house or put it out. I admit it, I have amazing neighbors. I have never asked or requested anything like this. They do it as a courtesy for the kids.